Karnataka. Because I come from Karnataka, I would like to project more on Karnataka. See, we all know the Sanskrit version, Jalam Jivanadhara. Without water, nothing can survive. We need water for all our activities, developmental activities, sustainable activities, drinking, livelihood, food security, everything we need water. But do we have that water? Either in surface water or groundwater is a big question before us. We know that we are 17% of world population, and we also know that 4% of renewable water is available in India. We also know that 2.6% of world land we have. Within this, what is really a great challenge is we have totally 1953 cubic meter of surface water available, out of which actually 691 cubic meter only we are able to use for our irrigation purpose. And we are using about 396 cubic meter of groundwater. 1 cubic meter of water equal to roughly a little more than 35 TMC of water, for your information. That means twice the capacity of our Kabini reservoir will be 1 cubic meter. So we know that lot of disasters, floods also creating a lot of problem. Recently Kedarnath was a great example. UP is facing, Andhra Pradesh is facing. We are not facing that severe flood problem, and mostly due to the uneven distribution of rain both over space and time. And since water is very, very precious, next slide please. See, once we have 1,700 cubic meter per head of water, then the life will be very, very normal, sustainable, what we had in early 50s and 60s. As the water comes down in the range of 1,000 to 1,700, we start feeling the pinch of not available of water adequately. And when it reaches less than 500 cubic meter per head, definitely the water scarcity is totally felt everywhere. Next slide please. Already the people have projected, some literatures have come, some figures are available in UN publications. Countries have become already water stressed. By now, by 2025, 10 to 15 more, that is in addition to 20 they will be added, and by 2050 almost 2/3 the world population will feel this severity. Why 2050? What is the secret of 2050? By that time, without all our efforts, our population will get stabilized. Death and birth will become same. So at that time, whatever we are planning, probably will be able to sustain and will be able to provide. So that is why that figure of 2050 has become sacrosanct for us. Next slide please. Now coming to what is presently happening. How much we have water, how many river sources, 20 rivers, river basins in India, 17 major rivers, more than 20,000 square kilometer catchment, 7 composite basins. Availability of utilizable water, though it is totally about 1,900 and odd cubic meter, is only 1,087, which includes the groundwater also. And 691 is cubic meter is surface water, and 431 is groundwater. This is for all India picture. Then projected demand for water up to 2050 is about 1180 cubic meter, whereas the availability is only 1087. So there is definitely going to be a shortage of water as we go down as we reach 2050, and even before, what is the source, what is the availability, how we have to handle. Next slide please. This is about the groundwater. 432 is available. We have already used 396. Next slide please. River system, that is overall picture for India. Now coming back to Karnataka, we have 7 river systems. Next slide please. And the availability of water out of that is almost about 2,000 and odd cubic meter, TMC. This excludes the west flowing river. Next slide please. See, this is, especially Karnataka is probably the only state which has faced number of tribunals. We have faced totally 5 tribunals for interstate water dispute. because we are middle riparian. No one is understanding the plight of a middle riparian state. Everyone favors the lowest riparian and try to safeguard that, because earlier principles were like that. Prescriptive right, prior utilization, these were the concepts on which the previous tribunals have considered the availability of water and sharing of water and distribution of water. And I have given you the availability of water from all these tribunals. These are definite figures. We have 1,252.36 TMC of water totally available to us. This excludes about 2,000 TMC of our own water, which is coming in the Western Ghats, west flowing river. Definitely government of Karnataka has to think how to bring that water. There may be some environmental issues as the water demand becomes more and more acute. Probably people have to yield, and some other information, some other concessions have to be shown, and that water has to be brought to the east. Because I was chairman of one of the committee, we couldn't complete that work halfway for various reasons. That committee work has to be continued. We have to get some more water from west flowing rivers. Next slide, please. And the groundwater, 14.81, almost 523 TMC of water we are already using as per the groundwater recent 2009-2010 figures. This is the availability, and we are already using 35 taluks. Next slide, please. Of Karnataka out of 176 are already overexploited. So availability of groundwater in that states are very, very minimal. Next slide, please. See, this is how the picture of Bangalore urban, Bangalore. Next slide is Bangalore rural. The entire picture is orange. Water Authority, Groundwater Authority bill which is passed and authority created, if you apply for one borewell permission, I don't think the authority will be able to give you permission to draw even one drop of water. But still, people are drilling left, right and center the borewells, and this has to stop. Otherwise, the problem that we saw, what Mr. Vishwanathan was telling, is going to further aggravate as far as groundwater is concerned. Next slide, please. This is about Bangalore rural. Next slide, please. I would like to skip few slides here because I have put some national water policy which has been recently pronounced in 2012 December. I don't want to discuss on that. There is a lot of change. They are giving priority for certain things. River basin is being considered as the unit for all planning purposes henceforth, and a lot of laws have to be changed. Even at the moment, the water is a state subject. Only states can regulate the water, except if it is an interstate river where Government of India can have. So some provisions have been made for modification. So I don't want to discuss that. Probably some other time we can discuss both state policy, national policy. Let us not discuss here. I'll just skip next 3 slides, slip, madam. Next slide, slip. Next. State water policy also skip, madam. Next. Next skip, madam. Other skip, madam. Then, what are the important issues based on which we have to see what we should do next? Next slide, please. See, Indian population has been estimated at 2050 as 1581 million, and the bovine population is also about 192. These are all figures based on the National Commission for Integrated Water Resource of 1999. So some values might have been changed. These are the figures that have been projected to you. Next zone area by 2050 has to grow up to 145 million hectares, because that is through which we can give food and fodder to the population that will be projected. Water supply to town should be about 220 LPCD, and class 2 cities which is 150 LPCD. At that rate we should be able to supply, because drinking water, as I said, power, industry are going to definitely enhance substantially. We are already feeling the pinch. Next slide, please. About 1,000 kilometers of water, that is not kilometers, this is here, that mistake, all should be read as kilo cubic meter. We need for industrial purpose by 2050, for power we need about 70 kilo cubic meter, and for environmental protection, this has come in our present water policy, national water policy. Ecology has to be given priority, and minimum waters have to be released. Both Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal and Kaveri Water Dispute Tribunal has said at certain points, certain quantity of water has got to be ensured for the survival of the ecology and the environment in that part of the river system. So for that we have to spend, and for evaporation loss alone zone about 76 cubic meter. All that put together, we have to merely provide substantial water for these purposes. Next slide, please. Next slide. Total utilizable surface water is 1087, and this our water will not be sufficient. We have to look for other water. Next slide, please. As far as Karnataka is concerned, we have North, South Pennar and Palar rivers. We have an age-old 1892 agreement which puts a lot of restrictions on the state. Now, in the last more than 120, 130 years, a lot of changes have taken place in those basins downstream, whether it is in Andhra Pradesh or in Tamil Nadu. A lot of water has come from some other source, so these things have to be relooked and some exemptions have to be taken up by Karnataka government. We have 2000 TMC of water, west flowing rivers, we have to bring it back, but environmental issues have to be resolved by ourselves. Total area in the state, 32% of our state area is overexploited, and we have very little scope in those particular districts. Next slide, please. Next slide. Only 65 taluks safe, that too mostly in Malnad areas where water is already available. They may not have a lot of use of much of groundwater. New legislation passed recently for abstraction of groundwater has to be strictly implemented by that authority. Next slide, please. So, the challenges that we have to face is the water use efficiency today is hardly 30 to 35%, whereas the groundwater is up to 60-65%. This has got to be enhanced if we have to give food and fodder and drinking water to the population by 2050. So what are the challenges coming? We'll discuss later on. Water table is rising alarmingly in all the water command. This is one of the potential water source to get additional water in future. Almost in all the reservoirs, this is the position. We are showing lip sympathy for conjunctive use. This has to be literally practiced. No night irrigation is practiced, continuous neglect of CADAs, that is Command Area Development Authorities, and canal distribution system. In almost many of the projects in a very bad shape, we are losing a lot of water. Next slide, please. Working the water user societies are only on paper, and we are not really getting the benefit, except probably Maharashtra may be an exception. Crop violation, unauthorized irrigation is order of the day. There is indiscipline among farming community. They have to be taken into confidence and they have to be told how to manage this water. Then waterlogged alkaline areas are increasing. Tungabhadra Basin alone, almost 15 to 16% of the command area has become waterlogged and saline. Delay in clearance of project by CWC and MOEF is also delaying the take-up of the project. Next slide, please. Low priority. This is as far as domestic activities and drinking water activities are concerned. See here, the handling of solid waste, you must have read in papers of Bangalore how serious it is, and until and unless, according to me, it is my suggestion of this thing, a separate authority has to be there like in any developed country for handling solid waste. Only then the municipalities will not be able to handle, the corporations will not be handled. They will have to have a separate authority, and then only the systems can function. They also should comply with environmental requirement, because the problem that we are only postponing, simply any dumping site we are trying to create today without proper environmental clearance, environmental assessment, more serious problems at a later date. We have seen in the developed countries, we have seen the papers, this has to be done. This can only be done when it is properly scientifically handled by, not by municipality. They don't have the required manpower, the required expertise, the required technology. It has to be privatized, or it should be a separate authority. Then distribution of, this is the survey. In Bangalore, it is not 30%. They have claimed it is 45% unaccounted for water. That is the claim made by BWSSB. Out of 100 MLD, 45 MLD is lost. Like that, if municipalities are allowed the fresh water, spending energy, bringing it and losing that, there is no point. It has to be disciplined, somebody has to be made accountable, then only those things can happen. No policy for lift irrigation, especially Karnataka. In the Krishna Basin, lot of almost out of 177 TMC that has been given to the state, almost 80% we have to lift. Because our Karnataka state Whatever by gravity we can draw, we have exhausted. All our fertile lands are above. We have got to lift it and use it. So we need substantial power. Lot of 2-3, especially Davangere people, Upper Bhadra. People are talking about Upper Bhadra. People are talking about Ethinole for drinking water supply to 5 districts. 4-stage lift. 4-stage lift. Totally power requirement will be about 2000 megawatt. If 2000 megawatt, that means separate dedicated power plants have to be constructed. Then only it is possible, otherwise it is not possible. So the government has to think of how, from where this power comes, link it up, dedicated power, then only these things are possible.
Sorry to interrupt, Captain. I would like to inform the audience that the dining hall is locked and it will not be open for food until the lecture is over. I request all of you to please stay back in the audience and not leave the hall. Thank you so much.
Next slide, please. Next slide. Lack of, this is another one of the reasons. Of course, morning Sam said, yes, the politicians, bureaucrats should not be blamed. No, as far as this type of projects and this type of regulations are concerned, political will, especially water users societies, they are all political people only. They have to be one. They have to show the political will if really our water management has to be proper in a good manner. So political will has to be shown, financial support has to be given for intensive participatory irrigation management to be successful. Institutional strengthening is not adequate, then insufficient and inefficient legislative measure. This is also brought out in the 2015 national policy. Next slide, please. So these are the issues that is presently we are facing. How to solve? What is the remedy? How we can look out? What is the main requirement is we must get some additional water in the form of utilizable water we have to find. How to find is the answer that I am going to place before you. There are three, I have divided into 3 groups, through water management, through improved agricultural practices. This is again emphasized in the 2012 national policy, then by adopting new concepts. Next slide, please. This is by entire canal line. The National Commission has identified what is the water loss. Almost 30% of the water that we are drawing through the canals is lost through seepage, percolation and going into the ground. So these are the potential areas where we can stop. You reduce, you completely line the canals throughout, right from main canal to the last lateral, you will be able to save substantially. Slowly it is coming up, but it has to be taken up on the national scale. Next slide, please. This is the new concept which I am suggesting. Today, 24 by 7, once we allow water into the main canal, water will be flowing throughout till the reservoir gets empty. Whereas during night, no farmer will practice the irrigation. So the water that is left in the main canals and main distributors is almost lost, according to me. I am an irrigation engineer practicing for nearly 40 years. This is my experience. To stop that, this type of concept has to be brought in and all canals have to be modernized. Distributary canal by increasing freeboard, by another half a meter. Provide cross regulators. We used to provide cross regulators only when there is a natural valley. Provide them at closer intervals, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers. Make them into small compartments. Then reduce canal entry, discharge into the main as the evening approaches. Then throughout the night you store it online. The next day no farmer will have any complaint because whole canal will be full and he can get the water. Water loss during almost 8 to 10 hours in the day can be totally saved and that water can be retained in the reservoir and additional areas, additional water intensive crops could be grown. So all canals have to be modernized. For this, the existing, if you increase the freeboard, the existing cross-drain channel works like bridges, culverts, contracts have to be reconstructed. It's worth doing it. Probably Planning Commission and Water Resource Department, both in center and state, will have to think of doing this if they want to get more utilizable water. Next, adopt dip sheet irrigation. In bad years, we have found dip sheet irrigation has given very good yield in the same field which was getting waterlogged. So deficit in save about 10% of the water, retain in the reservoir, you increase to that extent utilizable water, you get same yield without any difference. Definitely farmers will be benefited. So deficit irrigation has to be practiced. Reduce evaporation loss by using, this is the least, this can only be applicable for minor irrigation work. Maybe for bigger reservoir, the fetch will be more, this wavelength, wave action will be more. It may not be very successful in minor irrigation tanks, especially in Karnataka. Nearly 40,000 minor irrigation tanks is there. We can definitely adopt this. Next slide, please. Provide, this is with reference to domestic. Wherever municipalities are there, say what has happened, 80 to 90, there was an international decade for water supply and sanitation. Nothing happened. Then Ganga Action Plan came, very little happened. Then the National River Water Purification Scheme came, nothing is happening. So unless Government of India and state governments give the highest priority for treatment of sewage, for that first and foremost required, the entire urban areas have to be sewered. Planning Commission has to give additional funds and get this area. Now sewage is getting every street and every road, everywhere sewage is flowing. Instead of that, underground drainage system, so that you have a point source discharge where you can plan your treatment plan, go for tertiary treatment and have a dual pipeline, especially in the places where new layouts have come, new areas have come. This dual pipeline system has to be made. Then we have to save almost 60-70% of water. Now all the Pollution Control Board is insisting for flats and residential areas, this type of system. It becomes necessary. This is going to be the future order of the day. Environmental Department, this use of 3 Rs has to be made compulsory, and use of water based on IS norms per unit production. If it is a steel industry, if you are producing 1 metric ton, what is the quantity of water that you must use? They have to regulate like that, and then fresh water only to the extent of supplement water has to be provided like that. Then zero discharge principle is being practiced. This has to be more tightened, and the regulation monitoring should be done. Next, please. Adopt these in coastal areas where sufficient fresh water is not available, especially in summer months, especially in coastal areas, summer months, even fresh water may be difficult, so they can go in for this desalination process. Intensive watershed development program throughout the country is necessary. In every basin, every sub-basin, this has to be made. This will increase the soil moisture in the farmer's land. So less water will be required, whether with irrigation or without irrigation, so you will be able to grow for crops better, and crops will sustain better. Construct as many minor irrigation. That's why Karnataka was known for tanks. So every village must have a tank. We have to construct, and that will also recharge the groundwater, provide water for cattle, washing and everything. Those were the engineering method, construction method. This is now, for this particularly, I request agricultural scientists to play a greater role, and the farmers have to be trained properly. Because, see, ICRISAT, I had a dialogue with Dr. S.C. Patil. He is in the ICRISAT. He was former Vice Chancellor of Harvard Agricultural College. He says they have come up with so many new varieties for seeds, paddy, and even others with less water it can grow. And especially the Sri method and Madagascar method has to be practiced. It may be a little labor oriented. We save about 20 to 25% of water. My appeal to the places like Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu where paddy is grown extensively, where water is used extensively, they should think of using these methods for reducing the water and use that saved water elsewhere. So these are, and drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation and micro irrigation. Micro irrigation is a new concept. Karnataka is adopting in major projects, and especially it is amenable wherever your lift irrigation schemes are there. This has to be practiced. So agricultural scientists, farmers and water engineers have to closely work together as a team if they have to save a lot of water, surface water which is presently being wasted. Next slide please. Then by adopting new concepts. continue to use the surface and groundwater and introduce canal automation. This I have already spoken to you at length. This has to be done. Every canal has to be done. Government has to give highest priority for this. Canal automation has to be introduced. I have seen in this, when I went to US, I have seen how canal automation can work. They will also pump the groundwater about 200, 300 kilometers, reducing the flow in the canal, use the groundwater, pump it back into the canal. And Californian aqueduct is a very good example. So we should try and get those type of technology. Canal automation is a must. We have to educate our farmers because there is some problem. We had adopted in Tungabhadra, but farmers had some problem. They demolished it, so we have to go back to them, convince them, and this is going to be a good answer. Balancing reservoirs in command area so that whenever there is water is not used for irrigation, when there is a rainy day, probably these balancing reservoirs can be filled and used, and subsequently water could be drawn. Harness groundwater from, this is my new concept which I am suggesting. See, none of the water tribunals so far, at least in Karnataka, where Karnataka is a partner, have said water resource from groundwater, they said it is a restricted states to use. They have not put any restriction. So, and even while assessing the groundwater potential in a state, we have not taken into account how much water is available in the water spread area of the reservoir, like Tungabhadra Reservoir, Almaty Reservoir, KRS Sagar, in Metro, no one has evaluated. Similarly, in the command area also we have not done. They are all potential water resource points according to me. 30 to 35% of water can be drawn back every year because every year they get recharged. Reservoir gets full and it gets recharged. This government can think of drawing as much groundwater as possible from these two sources. And in the command area, put it back into the canal, save water from the reservoir, you extend your irrigation and provide water. Whereas in the upstream, in the reservoir, you have number of borewells, permit industries to draw water continuously instead of wasting land for storage of water, which is the practice now in Karnataka. They can get plenty of water. At least 30, 40 TMC of water can easily be obtained from all the reservoirs in Karnataka from the groundwater source, both in command and in the reservoir portion. Next slide, please. Rainwater harvesting, I need not say much. Already you have heard, not saying that. A lot of benefits are there. Only thing is, here it should not be restricted to only municipalities and towns and all. Every road cross section, you put borewells, shallow borewells, consult the geologist and see that stormwater gets sunk. This was one of my recommendations when I was chairman of a committee for Bangalore roads about 5 years back. Some of the BBMP has not taken that seriously at that. Now slowly they are doing. Every municipality has to take this. Then only in the urban areas, because a lot of groundwater is extracted in the urban areas. To recharge it, in addition, okay, right. De-sinking mine irrigation tanks in particular. Next slide, please. Next slide. These are the storage where we have lost storages in Tungabhadra, about 30 TMC is lost. Next slide, please. Practice cloud seeding. I have experienced cloud seeding. I was in charge. Definitely about 5 to 10% extra water we get. It may not fall exactly the place where you have designed, but within the state it will come. So during every year, every state will have to plan for cloud seeding and get additional water resource. No, wait, go back. Go back. Increase the capacity of the existing reservoir if it is feasible. Establish water regulatory authority. Now there is no water regulatory authority. Like energy regulatory authority, this has become. This is one of the recommendations, one of the requirements in the 12th new national water policy. Adopt. If all this goes, at the end probably piped water supply becomes inevitable, even for irrigation instead of passing through canals. Then interlinking of rivers, according to me, is the last priority. Only after you take, exhaust all and ensure that the entire water available you have used, then only think of interstate water. For that, constitution needs amendment. Water has to be brought under concurrently, then only this can succeed. Otherwise, the donor state should show that he has excess water, then only it can come to the other state. Otherwise, if we don't do this national commission has agricultural practices, both agricultural scientists, general and farmers, and the political finding additional usage of water for the benefit of future management. Only with these examples we can make, and this is what the commission has said. Conservation in every field has to be practiced if we have to save water. And what I have said is, in those fields we have got to practice, then only we save water. Failing which, already somebody said there is going to be war, not interstate war or international war, it will be intrastate. Every canal distributing, there will be wars and disputes, and lawyers will have a very good time, and courts will have plenty of water cases. So let us not come to that state. The agricultural scientists, engineers and farmers and the government should together, and we may be able to get additional water resource within the state from the water that we are using. Otherwise, we can divert west flowing rivers, especially Karnataka, we can get there. Otherwise, for all India level, this interlinking of rivers is going to be one of the answers. So, sorry, I had to rush through with, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity.